Welcome back to the Post Nerdism Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Lavender, joined once again with Sleepy Chris Harris.
Sleepy Chris.
Sleepy Chris.
Yes,
The
Sleepy Chris is
Jigglypuff
here.
of Sleepy Gary is now, it's your first nickname. We'll come up with more.
I don't know. I think Ganondorf's doing better.
Ganondorf, fuck that guy. Yeah, I guess we could add that to the list. We didn't put that in our, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Games
that.
we've been playing this week.
Games we played this week. That was embarrassing. It was not good. Your level seemed a little hot.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty up there, aren't I?
All right. A little quick intermission. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we're starting off with a general discussion about the virtual console on the Switch.
Yes. So we're going to change the format up of this podcast because we had some feedback on the last episode as underwhelming. Dan wasn't impressed. It's too short. It was unprepared, and we kind of just... Well, we were all hungover and sleepy, I think. That was the biggest problem
That
with
would
that
be
one.
it.
I know I looked like I didn't sleep all night, and that's basically how it went. All right, so the way we're going to do it this time, and probably going forward if this works out successfully, we're going to have one main topic for each podcast, where we will go deep into the topic, as deep as we can get without sounding dumb, I guess. And then we're going to go into this week's headlines. They're nerdy news, we'll call it. And it may not be news to you, but it will be news to us. And that's kind of the way I see it. Because,
Yes.
hey, I'm not always that great with news, but maybe you'll learn something. I know some people will learn something. And then we'll go to what we've been playing this week and what we've been watching this week. And that'll be just a nice little wrap up before we start the new week. Maybe we'll even talk about what we hope to play with the week going forward.
Mhm.
All right.
Sounds good.
So like Chris was saying, the general discussion we're going to start with this week is about Nintendo's Virtual Console and why it hasn't come to the Switch, or just about it and its entire Switch presence and its lack thereof so
I think
far.
it's just not there right now because it's Nintendo being Nintendo and taking their sweet time with things. They don't rush. They definitely don't rush.
So you don't think it has anything to do with... well, my hypothesis would be that they're really pushing their indie scene right now because they don't have a lot of their own big releases coming, and a lot of the indie games would be in direct competition with their old school games because indie games a lot of times lower budgets. They basically make games that are inspired by old Nintendo games like side scrollers or Metroid style games where you're searching for things, or I don't know what other kind of indie games. Those are the biggest ones, I guess. And so my kind of thought was that Nintendo, if you had side by side in a store, let's say you're a big Super Metroid fan like I am I going to spend my $7 on Super Metroid, or am I going to spend it on, and take a chance on this Super Metroid inspired brand new game? I'm going to buy Super Metroid because I already know I like it. And then maybe the independent developer will kind of get the shaft a lot more often by not having anyone even consider those options.
I don't know if that's really it though, because Nintendo's interested in profit.
I know,
also.
yeah.
And they probably would get more profit directly off of a port because it's direct to Nintendo, all profits to them.
It's true. And you can't ignore that. I don't know. It's a hard one for me to really
I think it's just they're taking their sweet time. It's a good thing for the indies right now to build up their scene and builds up the Switch's scene as an indie thing.
So it could be both reasons, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be taking their time because they have a nice indie marketplace going right now.
Yeah.
And so they don't feel like they need to...
I think it'll show up eventually, but I think it would be more of a trickle out
You think it would be just
of
slow
releases
trickle?
when they're doing them.
Yeah, what I was thinking what they might do would be... it would be good to start, almost hold things back for, when there's a definite lull. And so they can... It's like, oh, we got nothing big coming out this month.
Yeah.
Maybe no indies even. And it's just like, okay, now's the time to put in 5 virtual console
Yeah,
games. or
it's not
whatever.
I don't think it's gonna pop up and just be bam, here's all of the games you could possibly
Wouldn't that
want.
be overwhelming?
Yes. That's not how you get people to notice them because they get buried by
spend
the
their
other
money.
ones.
Because they're going to probably burn out and then forget
Yeah.
about it for a little. I know I would. I pretty much did that every time with virtual consoles. Bought a bunch, played a quarter of them, and then didn't buy any more.
They definitely need to tweak their settings though in the console. They still haven't really done anything there. Just searching for things is
Oh, in the
painful.
marketplace?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yes.
no real categories thing other than new. New releases, bestsellers.
Yeah. Well, there's so
That's
many games already.
But you have so many games now, you have other ones that get buried because you can't search in a certain category.
Mm-hmm.
You need a category. The amount that they have coming out, you need categories.
Yeah, they don't have any categories yet. It's just a big list of...
It's basically just a big list.
New releases, bestsellers.
Yep.
And literally everything else
and on
goes
sale.
to the bottom. Yeah, right. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was... I know they're doing their Nintendo Directs, the Nindy Directs or whatever now, where they're highlighting new games that aren't necessarily big titles that everyone would know about. It'd be nice if that was almost like a weekly feature. So you could go on. Well, I guess that's why podcasts like ours exist, isn't it? We'll do the research for you if we have the time. But go on and have Nintendo actually talk about, just briefly a little Nintendo Direct type thing, all the games basically that week. And so you can just go back and... I'm trying to think of would I actually watch something like that. I just don't spend enough money and time on games, I guess, that I'd be able to really keep up.
Bi-weekly thing would probably be pretty good. I don't know if it needs to be weekly. Might burn people out. They're not going to have that much coming out per week, right?
There are releases every week, though. Someone could probably do that. There are, I'm sure, positive YouTube channels that do highlight that. And you could probably go on YouTube right now and just find reputable YouTubers saying best 10 indie games this month or something.
Yeah.
So I guess it's already taken care of itself, and there's nothing for me to really say about it.
Once you get it set, it's just the biggest thing is the categories and the searching and all that, and being able to organize things.
Mm-hmm. Searchability on the console itself is important. I always found their eShop slow too. Like even just page to page, you're trying to browse. It's like, if you're trying to spend your money and find something to play, I don't know, it kind of interrupts your process if you're like waiting for, especially their videos for some reason are always terrible to load. Maybe I'm thinking more of the Wii U. I remember that being terrible. Maybe the Switch is better now.
I think the Switch is significantly better than the Wii U, but it's still not great. But you're looking at the size of the console and the power it has versus other systems. It's the portability that's the selling point. So you're going to sacrifice elsewhere.
Yeah. What do you think they're going to do as far as distribution? Do you think it's going to be a thing that you can collect and pay for and hold, or is it going to be a subscription thing and they just cycle? That's another thing I thought
virtual console.
They could stay away from competition with big games and with indie games by. I think the virtual console did take a lot even from their own games away. Yeah. Like if you could buy Mario Kart 64, maybe you're not even going to buy the new Mario Kart because you're getting your fix kind of thing. But if they had it on a cycle, and so only like brand new games you could kind of own forever, but everything else is a subscription. It's like, hey, this month we've got this GameCube game, this Super Nintendo game, this N64 game.
Don't know if that would work.
People would be pissed off.
Make me not want it.
I probably would have
just
the subscription.
Because I basically would be set with the N64 games and not want anything else necessarily.
And that's maybe what they're trying to...
But if they cycle them out, then I'm just going to be pissed and go, well, this isn't worth my time and cancel the subscription.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a weird... Like, I'm trying to think from their point of view, what would be the most profitable for them without angering the fan base. You almost have to have maybe like a select number or permanent things to play. And then they cycle out others. Like maybe NES games get cycled or something. I don't know. But then why not just put them up forever? I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways where they can justify charging us a subscription fee, which is
more money.
Well, they want to do a subscription service for an online system, and if
they're going to be doing that.
Yeah, but is it going to be as good as Xbox Live? They're making you use your phone to chat. There's already a problem there built in. Now maybe they'll change that. The Switch does have, I think, a headphone mic jack, so there's no reason I would
more
think.
Peripheral sales.
Yeah, you can just sell a headset, right? You already got to buy a headset if you're using your phone for it. I think you could probably use the mic on your phone, but that's awkward.
Yeah,
I don't know. They got to figure something out. When do you think we'll actually see it? We still haven't even heard like a mention of it. Do you think this E3 they might finally talk about it?
It would be great news. I think I hoped in the previous episode that would come out this E3, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I don't think we'll even hear about it for the rest of the year. There already
be a Nintendo Direct at some point.
Yeah. Maybe next Januaries. Januaries are usually popular Nintendo Directs. We just had one in, March? I guess they do them quarterly. So they do one in January. That's where the Switch got announced. Or not announced, but the big reveal was a January one of, I guess, 2017. But 3 months before it launched. I could see them doing a a big January virtual console after the big holiday season's over and being like, hey, this is how we're going to push 2019 basically.
Mm.
And then essentially launch it right away or like within a month of them revealing it, which would be exciting.
It would.
You know, it would push. I don't know what's happening in 2019. We got Smash this year. I think Metroid might be. But that's, I don't know.
Nice to see a trailer this year.
Yeah, I think we'll see a trailer for Metroid this year for sure. But Virtual Console, it's like, to me, it's the glue for Nintendo. Like what's kept us playing Nintendo consoles for so long.
It's just they keep re-releasing. It's easy access.
Yeah, we always, get drunk and play Mario Kart 64 because the battle mode just can't be topped apparently in any other game. And even the racing's just got this simple fun to it.
It's the biggest thing I like about older games like that keep coming up on the console. It's just keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you get too complex, then you got to dedicate more time. It's something you can just drop in and be decent at enough to have a good time.
Yeah, and relive, pretend you're a kid again in a way. Numb some brain cells and play the same games you did when you had just as many brain cells when you were 7.
Yes.
And there's a certain level of like mastery that you feel when you go back and you play an old game. Like you're playing Majora's Mask again.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that you just feel like you're confident and able to just play without having a lot of like
get right into it.
Brain kind of wrenching.
You always really pick up on one thing that has greatly improved over the years: camera controls.
Yeah, camera for sure.
Early camera controls were brutal.
But what I do love about Nintendo is that their gameplay was always spot on, even in the N64. Like Mario Kart 64, Mario himself is so fluid and so responsive.
Yeah.
I love going back to just playing that game because of how
I think the camera was a lot better in that game too.
People always bitched about it, and yet
you could control it a lot more though.
Yeah, I found it really highly controllable. I don't know.
You can't really do anything with the Zelda one.
No, but it had Z targeting, which really helped.
Yes.
That's where they invented Z targeting. Well, had to be. It's the first 3D Zelda on the N64. But it worked pretty well, and you could always just tap Z to look in front of you at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were in a tight quarter sometimes and you were like trying to turn around and run away and you just like be in a wall and then you end up in a corner, you didn't realize it was there.
Yeah.
And you start clipping and the camera's all through the walls. Yeah, it could be pretty frustrating. I'm looking forward to just getting... for some reason, there's like this way more appealing to play like a Super Nintendo game on a portable console. So having the Switch as a virtual console is really exciting.
I never really thought about that. Because just like the style is usually 2D.
Yeah.
And so it's perfect.
And it was already low res. You got now it's just a small screen, and low res look way better on a small screen.
Yes.
As we know.
They don't look so good when you try and play it on a 4K TV.
Although not too bad either. I mean, it could be worse. For some reason, the 4K looks better than like old 1080 TVs looked for those games. They're doing a better job with scaling, I think, now.
Okay.
Better circuitry and all that crap that TV technology does. Not to mention my deep, deep blacks on this 4K.
On your fancy OLED.
And if they do if they keep going with the way they were with the other virtual consoles where you could pause a game at any point and have a restore point. Yeah. So being portable and on the go and having that is super important because if you're like on a bus and you're suddenly at your stop, as if we ride the bus, but if you're suddenly at your stop, you can just hit boom, create restore point, turn off your system. Oh, you weren't at a save point? Don't worry about it. Because a lot of games back then, they had either no save point or you had to like make your way to one.
Yeah.
So retro kind of fitting it with this restore point really like increases its playability portable. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll actually probably spend a lot of money on old games.
This would be the system to do it on.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this kind of came out late breaking news. We're not at the news section yet, but still Nintendo. They're already talking about the next console somehow. Like there's rumbling starting to happen. And I know most hardware manufacturers start R&D right away. As soon as the console's out, I mean, they have a whole department dedicated to the next thing. That's just their R&D department. So of course it exists. But while we're talking virtual console, because sometimes it seems like we are going to, well, when we're talking about future proofing, right? Are we going to get in the situation again?
It's just going to be an updated Switch, basically Switch Pro.
So hopefully virtual console's there at launch.
Yes.
And they don't make us wait this 2-year limbo again. It was weird enough with the Wii U and how you had to transfer the virtual console over. And then it was like super inferior because now you had to have the Wiimotes with the the classic controllers plugged into the Wiimotes to play the old games because there was no longer GameCube support. We've just been through all this recently. I just bought adapters for the Wiimotes to GameCube so that we could play any game we wanted that way, and have yet to really take advantage of it. But it's only been a couple weeks, so we'll get there.
It's just they call it the Switch U.
Oh God, Switch U, Switch me? Yes, Switch U.
We switch.
Oh shit. You know, I could see them doing that and bringing back the motion controls.
If any rumblings are going on right now, it's got to have something to do with basically a pro version, basically an updated, strong, more powerful Switch, or next iteration of a 3DS kind of system. If they're going to keep one going.
Ooh, a Switch.
Because they can't turn away from the Switch so soon.
3D Switch. I think the Switch format.
Because you've barely even heard rumblings out of the other two.
Yeah,
they know it's in production. They've got dev kits for the PS5 or whatever the hell it is, but it's basically just a PC with what it might be.
It's hypothetical hardware, basically.
So that's years away then.
Yeah, because they want developers to be.
And that's already been, how many years are they into the PS4? Is it 7 years? 6 years?
Wow, time's gone by really fast, but yeah, probably. Well, we had an Xbox One in 2014, and it came out after the PS4.
Yeah, came a year later.
And here we are 4 years from that, and that thing was already out for a whole year at that point. So yeah, probably 6 years.
It's been 5 or 6 years?
At least 6 years, probably, for PS4. Something close, anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a Switch Pro, because everything moves so quick, especially technology in small spaces.
Yeah,
moves really fast.
Especially on that, I could see they could make some easy improvements to that system.
And I would never have previously thought Nintendo would ever go the route of a Pro system until they put out the new 3DS.
Yes, when they started doing all the 3DSs, you have 3DS, 3DXL, 3DS. Yeah.
They might actually start thinking that their market becomes so strong that they can get away with that. And they probably can, especially if they sold that kept controllers and peripherals all perfectly compatible. And so you could, if those controllers alone cost like $70 or $80 to get
if you can use a Switch controller just with
and then if they sold the console as just like the new tablet. And then you can actually have, kind of hand-me-downs within families. That's the same thing they kept thinking with the 3DS line. They would be able to, a family might own 2 or 3 3DSs because you can only have one person playing it at a time. So maybe households are going to become 2 Switch households, and then you can play games like Rocket League on your own screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That don't require the Pro hardware and just the new kind of standalone big games.
I wouldn't mind a Pro edition for the Rocket League on it, though.
Yeah,
do they have to play it in low res and turn everything off because there is some lag in that game when you start joining a game.
Lag in the game?
Yeah. When you're joining a game, you've never noticed the delay where you literally don't even start.
Not in Rocket League. I never really noticed. I don't know. I haven't played enough.
I've had it where I load in and you do nothing for about the first 10 seconds of the game while everything else is going on. You're just sitting there doing nothing.
Well,
or you have the invisible players.
That's always a fun one. It's like, we got to figure out what the cars look like and turn off all their effects. Yeah. What else about the Virtual Console? Not a whole lot more to say.
I think we've done a pretty good job on it. About 20 minutes.
Coming soon, and I hope they don't do what they did with the Wii U. It would be nice if somehow the money I've already put into Virtual Console would be remembered. They're kind of abandoning.
They did that with the Wii U, didn't they?
They did it, but you had to pay $1 to get it onto the new system. Which, if you had a huge collection, not so great. Or they gave you a workaround because you could transfer your Wii's basically brain into the Wii U, and then you had to go into the Wii menu through the Wii U, and then in the Wii menu you could play the Virtual Console games.
And they wonder why the Wii U didn't sell so well.
Yeah, a few little hiccups like that for sure. But at least honor something to do with the Switch. I know that they've changed the way that My Nintendo stuff works, and you have a new Nintendo account or something like that. I don't know if that changed it during the Wii U, and so it's still connected, or if they're somehow linked, and so it knows it can remember your purchases from the old stuff. If it can, they have no excuse to not let us. Even if I had to pay $1 again to upgrade into the Switch version, It's better than paying another $12 for Mario Kart 64 for the third time. Not including the $90 we probably spent when the game first came out on the N64 back in the day.
Yeah.
When $90 was worth a lot more money.
I still can't believe that.
Cartridges cost a lot.
Well, just the price of games still the same price, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole other topic we could really
dig into.
I think we've probably actually talked about the price of games,
we have.
microtransactions and all that. They should definitely cost more. And since we're getting into the news, why don't we just skip down a couple, since we're talking suddenly about microtransactions. This week in nerdy news, maybe it's not this week, but it's news to us. Battlefront 2 is reintroducing in-game purchases after their little tripping over themselves to get a better public image back in, was that November, December?
Yep.
So it sounds like they're just
cosmetic only.
Yeah, bringing it back kind of in a more logical way.
Everything I've seen very, very much stresses it's cosmetic only. It won't affect in-game balance.
Yeah, so that's a good step. I don't mind cosmetic microtransactions.
No.
Do them all you want, because I understand making up some money from game development in the form of that. It's not a huge deal, but still have a good balance with unlockables within a game.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want everything to be behind a paywall.
No.
I don't know. I couldn't find in the time I looked at the article or the news about it whether or not it was still going to be random or if you can actually purchase direct cosmetics.
I didn't see anything on that.
Yeah, I would guess they're probably going to still do loot box.
I know that's what Fortnite does that makes it better, is it's direct purchase.
So you can choose what you want and buy it. Yeah, I like that a lot better.
It's just they get less money for it. They like the gambling thing, but that is a whole other...
Well, the gambling thing is getting really cracked down on by a lot of people right now in the, the especially wider the public. Yeah. So that could be... I hope it's on its way out.
But speaking about Battlefront 2, apparently there's Ewok Hunt coming out.
Hunt?
Ewok Hunt.
Wait, are you an Ewok hunting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're
not hunting Ewoks.
No, it starts...
That would be a little dark.
It starts off, it's basically one versus everyone. You are stalking stormtroopers as an Ewok. It'll be one player. And every time a stormtrooper dies, that becomes an Ewok. They spawn as an Ewok.
Now I'm interested, because that is zombies.
That sounds good. Unfortunately, everything I've heard, though, is it's a limited event for now.
Oh, jerks.
And that starts April 18th, so 3 days from now, it's out.
I am interested. I'll probably try to watch some streams for that, because I want to see how that works and if it's fun. Because zombies was like one of the most fun things that people made up in Halo, and that's the same concept. One person has a sword, everyone else has shotguns, and then you just slowly get people on your side. Then they made it official game mode, which I never played. We kind of Halo 2, the glory days of online gaming. Okay, so while we're on the Star Wars topic, we'll just segue right into a little bit of movie news. Now, you haven't seen it, but the new Solo trailer came out, I think, during a football game.
No.
Beginning of last week. Basketball.
Would definitely not be a football game.
Yeah. It was a sports ball. During some sports ball last week.
Probably basketball.
It might have been basketball. The new Solo trailer dropped. I watched it because I cannot stop myself.
The reason I haven't seen it is generally when I decide I'm going to see a movie, and it's going to happen regardless, I will avoid all trailers after that point. I'll watch the initial trailers, but once I've decided I'm seeing it, I don't want any more.
I could just say that about every Star Wars movie for the rest of time. I shouldn't watch the trailers. But I like it because I like talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it too much. No spoilers. I don't even think there were any spoilers. There were a few things in there that would have been like cool to wait to see the movie for, but I'm just as excited about them now, having seen the trailer, that
I don't mind you discussing them. If I don't have the picture in my mind, it's not going to stick in my head.
Yeah, I mean, they're really dumb things too. You're sure? Like, they're really dumb things. Chewbacca, not the only Wookiee that we'll be seeing. He hugged a Wookiee. Maybe there's a Wookiee family involved. We don't know. Just a really quick scene.
Chewie's family.
Maybe Chewie's family, and then that's the life debt thing's coming back into play. That was the old canon where Han saved him or whatever, and he had to become... So maybe that's still going to be reintroduced basically into canon, and he has to leave his family in order to honor his life debt. I wonder how prevalent life debts are in the Star Wars universe. Jar Jar had one to Qui-Gon.
Oh, God.
That went out real well. Jar Jar, you really helped out Qui-Gon, didn't you? Lasted a few hours and died. Spoilers, episode 1 if you haven't seen it.
Then became an enabler for Palpatine.
Oh God. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about happier Star Wars times. What else was really relevant in there? Not a whole lot. Yeah, mostly just more kind of cool scenes, action scenes. The music was really like Western sounding, and I think they're really playing up the kind of old timey gunslinger
that could be cool
sort of stuff. So, which is really cool for. It's perfect for what Han is essentially.
Yeah, well, they stayed away from touching Star Wars theme music generally in their standalones.
Yeah,
like the Rogue One didn't. Really
Rogue One like almost like played with the motifs of the Star Wars music, but didn't actually go into them.
I liked the music.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I hope that like Star Wars could be so much broader, I feel, than it is right now. Get into really like crazy I'm thinking like Wagner, how you pronounce his name.
I don't.
But like the Valkyries, all those themes, and do the Old Republic with more stuff like that. Kind of like how Duel of the Fates was really kind of that style. Duel of Fate, whatever it was in episode 2, right? I can't wait to go back to the Old Republic and have music like that. But then you could do things in, well, the OT era is perfect for more like techno-y, grimy music because it's like Empire just came in, everything's kind of dystopian and all that. They could really go into, less traditional Star Wars soundtracks. Actually have like electric guitars and drums and stuff. It'd be kind of cool.
It would be cool.
I don't think they should ever go licensed music. I don't want to hear Zeppelin in my Star Wars.
Yeah.
I won't go that far.
I don't think they've ever touched that, and I hope they don't. I don't think keep making their own scores.
Star Wars is its own contained universe.
And the music is contained.
On the other hand, Earth is a thing in the Thor universe. There's no Earth in Star Wars. So don't have Earth music in Star Wars. That's kind of the way I see that.
We might as well stay in the Disney categories here. And
yeah, there's not much else to say about Solo, so yeah.
There's a lot of Disney, actually, in this news this week.
Yes.
Do we want to jump? We can jump straight to it. The Disney and Fox deal?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you, do you know much about it?
I've been keeping up on it a little bit, just that, well, the main reason it hasn't gone down right away is because it's being partially blocked. Or reviewed, isn't it, by the government?
Comcast or Verizon? One of the companies is complaining to the government, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's a monopoly type situation.
It's a massive purchase.
Yeah.
So they're trying to mix up. I think the EU has something in on it too, that they want Disney to take Sky News.
Yeah, Sky was a part of Sky Network or whatever it is.
I think was
part of
taken by Fox, or Fox wants it.
These companies are worldwide.
And they want Disney to take it instead or something. But yeah. And it maybe, you heard something, it may be finalized in
the
next
rumblings
summer?
Right now, they're saying at latest, basically, end of summer 2019. So still a whole year and a bit away.
Still a year and a bit.
But the optimistic view was basically a year from now. So before summer. Sometime in that 6-month span is the one they're thinking it's going to wrap up.
That'd be a massive purchase.
Yeah, a lot of consolidation of franchises, for sure.
Yeah, I hope if that comes through, they keep it separate. I mean, they already do that with their animation. They have Disney Animation and they have Pixar.
Yeah.
And they've let them do their own things.
Well,
so
even
keep
under Disney.
The Fox ones, unless you can pull a couple things from that Fox owns and bring it into your Marvel universe and stuff like that. But keep your own style with 21st Century if they pick that up.
Yeah.
Because I like the way Fox has been going with some of these things now.
Well, you have basically the same thing as you have in games, where it's like you've got the big company that has their own first party kind of studios, and then they've got exclusive kind of like other studios around them that always publish through the big guys.
Yeah.
And then you just have your small studios that basically shop around and try to get whoever they can on it. So Disney has I think Miramax is part of Disney or something like that, and the Weinstein Company.
They own a lot.
Not so hot these days.
No,
but,
not so hot.
I think he might be even associated with Disney or something. In
a bunker somewhere.
Yeah, so have Fox still maintain Fox, because Fox is even with Star Wars, or was. I think back in the day, Lucasfilm, because they always used to have, Fox was part of. They
published with them.
Yeah, so it's I
don't think it's
Lucasfilm
anymore.
is its own studio, and now Disney has owns it.
Yeah.
But Fox never owned Lucasfilm. They just published through them. And
I just don't want Disney to pull everything out of 21st Century and give it like a Marvel paintbrush.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think they can. I don't think that's going to work for them. I can see...
You want different genres and different tastes. You don't want it all the same.
And you can't make everything all bland and family-friendly and kind of, not really risky.
Speaking of that, there's the trailer for the New Mutants out.
Oh, there's a trailer for it.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a trailer for it.
I've seen the trailer.
Okay. Does it look creepy?
It looks creepy. You know what is creepy is a remix of Pink Floyd. Education.
What, Another Brick in the Wall?
Another Brick in the Wall, yes.
Oh, really?
With little kids singing like a choir. Why does little kids in horror films singing creepily?
Because children are creeps.
You get the shivers. But I liked the look of it.
Yeah, they said they were basically rewriting the whole thing to make it more of a horror.
Yeah, but it's I don't have a problem with that because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving on with that frame that they've been in with, like, you've got the R-rated superhero ones.
Yeah.
You got Deadpool, and then you got the gritty Logan R-rated.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got a horror. Apparently they're planning, they want to do a trilogy with it.
The New Mutants?
Yes.
Okay. And this is more just X-Men, like kind of B-list X-Men, I guess, is really...
Yeah. I don't know how mainstream they were at the time, but they're basically going to isolate these 5 or whatever and make them
5 mutants.
Yes, they're basically in like a psychiatric hospital.
So I wonder if they're going to be like anti-heroes in a way then.
No, they're being used.
They're heroes? So they
the
are...
hospital is the enemy.
Oh, okay, so I wonder how that becomes a horror.
It seems
though.
like
that's where if they're the creeps. Basically.
I have no idea. If they're basically, the trailer basically sets them up as they're like little snakes. They don't know how to control their venom.
Okay.
If they bite something, they don't know how strong they are at the time.
Right.
So maybe their powers are acting up. They don't really show what's going on other than like mutants getting freaked out.
Huh. I'm intrigued either way. I haven't been into X-Men in a long time. I haven't even seen Logan, which I want to. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
X-Men kind of got really lame for a while. I haven't seen probably half of them because they started going back in time and
they jumped around a little bit too much and lost me in that one.
Yeah. That seems to be like the fate of everyone with superheroes except for Disney right now.
Yeah.
Disney's doing something very unique and special with the MCU compared to DC.
It's basically because they seem to have planned it out well in advance. They did a good job of planning everything out and saying this is how we want to go.
They kind of had like
kind of followed that.
It's almost like they had okay, we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to do if this does well.
Yeah,
and it did. And then they're like, cool, now we can do this because we thought about it instead of just shit. What do we do next?
Yeah,
every time. I haven't even seen the DC movies. I just know everyone's pretty lukewarm about them.
Yeah,
like the newer
I haven't
Batman
been too
Supermans.
Impressed with them.
Now they're already doing a Justice League, trying to be the Avengers after a year and a half.
Yeah,
of movies.
That's the main problem with the way the DC's gone is they basically went from 0 to everything immediately, and you don't have time to introduce characters.
Well, since we're talking already about Marvel, let's go into something a little bit specific. But basically, Hawkeye hasn't been in any of the marketing material for Infinity War.
Yes.
And all the fans there's big
been
rumbling.
Petitions.
Yeah, there's been a big rumbling about it. He did retire though, right? In the most recent Avengers?
I don't think so.
He wanted to more dedicate to his family.
He's going to be there.
Well, yeah, I think he's going to be there too. But either way, the producers somebody's come forward and said, Hawkeye has an arc. Just stop talking about it. He's not gone.
They said there's a lot of plot time because it's over 2 movies.
Yeah.
So there's time.
I mean, and even if he's not...
And if he's not showing up now, it could be in this one.
He could be the end screen.
And it could be just whatever they show with him is too much of a spoiler for inside the movie.
That's what I probably was figuring. He's doing something too important to really show. I mean, you could just show his face. I'm sure they have a scene of him going, or drawing a bow or anything at all. It's kind of weird. But maybe he'll just be in the after credits roll.
Maybe just because it's been such a thing now, it's just a way to drive hype by not
trolling
showing
everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They'll release like a trailer in the next couple of days before the movie comes out, and basically
it's just all Hawkeye.
It's just a Hawkeye, a shot of Hawkeye.
That'd be funny. Just the very like they'll release a 2-minute trailer and he'll just be like the last 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to
He draws an arrow.
yeah,
Done.
just draws an arrow.
Everyone applause.
It's actually a scene from the last Avengers movie. It's not even new. All right. Well, let's go back into games for a second here before we get to our last. No, let's wrap up movies.
Yeah, the Laundromat.
Yeah, I was really intrigued when I saw that they were going to make a movie about that. It seems really soon.
It's good. It's more current than most of the time. Most of the time, Hollywood seems to move.
Yeah. So the Laundromat is going to be a movie about the Panama Papers that were leaked. What was it? I might have been
2015.
Yeah, I was back already in Canada, so that was after. Yeah, it was 2015, I guess. 2015, 2016. Might have been early 2016. We're good at this.
We get it in the general year or two.
We're too old to be picking dates out of our ass now. So I find that really interesting because everything about it was intriguing to me back then when it was all happening, and it'd be cool to see kind of a narrative.
Yeah. I like that kind of investigative narrative kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The director's that's doing it, I think one of his previous works was Logan Lucky. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Oh, I saw it before I left New Zealand.
Yeah, what was that?
That had Daniel Craig in it and a couple other... Oh, was it Channing Tatum? I think he was in that one too. And it was like a Southern style heist flick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I've never
it was really funny. Huh. So it was definitely worth a watch.
Something to add to the list.
But apparently the movie's going to be... The Laundromat's going to be more along the lines of like a Spotlight style movie. I'm not sure if you've seen Spotlight. It's also another one worth seeing.
I have not.
Spotlight came out in 2015. It was... I think it got Academy Awards. 1 or 2 or
Spotlight.
Multiple. It's basically... It was following the Boston Globe's Spotlight investigative journalists.
Okay.
As they were investigating abuse in the Roman Catholic Church when that started coming out.
All right. Man, I've missed a lot of
that was a good movie.
Movies.
That had I can't remember his name right now. Bruce Banner, current.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner. Oh yeah, that guy. Mark Ruffalo.
Yes. I couldn't think of his name right now.
When he said Bruce Banner, I went straight to
that was terrible.
Superman for some reason. Yeah. Oh, okay. So
another one on the list.
Yeah, I got a big list. It's massive. You should see it. My list is huge. Biggest list you've ever seen. So one more little piece of movies. You didn't see it. The clown movie.
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. But there's a chapter 2 coming. All right, next topic.
It's not my style.
Do you know if it had a sequel in a book?
I can't remember. I didn't read them. I don't have a problem with clowns, and I don't want to have a problem with clowns, so I'll just stay away from that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I would probably watch it eventually.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. Yeah, I guess that's it for movies. It for movies. One last little piece of gaming news. God of War is getting really well reviews.
Yeah, I hadn't really been following this until I started looking into it.
Yeah, that's I guess it's a bit a departure for the series.
Yeah.
They're doing some different things
it's
with it.
Less it was more linear in the past from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really played any of them. I've just seen gameplay and trailers.
I played the first one up to the first boss and got demolished and never played it again.
This one sounds like it opens up pretty quick into like you can make your own choices, open world stylish.
Apparently some people are even complaining it's a little too open.
Yeah, I've heard it. Well, no, I've heard comparisons to like in the reviews to Zelda style. Like where you were actually, Breath of the Wild, where you're basically wandering around and you're finding things that have their own little story tied to them. It's not just a little fetch quest.
All I can say is I'm a little annoyed. I have more good games to play that I can't find the time to get to.
There's so much out there.
And that's just PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind giving my PS4 a little more love. Still got to play 2 very good games. Get through Horizon and even start The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2 will come. And if I can
you definitely have to play Last of Us before the next one comes out.
Yeah, we should really start focusing on playing some games. What have I been doing lately? Tiny House is back in my life. If you didn't know, I have another channel. It's called Rookie Roost. Go look it up.
Plug.
Yep. Shameless. And And that is it for headlines this week that I found in the 10 minutes when I searched for headlines this week. So we're going to go into the next section called What Have We Been Playing? I'll come up with a catchier name. What have you been playing this week that I don't know about?
I've started playing a previous favorite again. I just dig it up every couple months. RimWorld.
RimWorld.
Which is a simulation, random ass world building thing where you're playing as crash landed survivors on a planet that you generate with whatever settings you want. You choose whatever area you want to go to. And you basically, your goal is to get back off the planet, but there's so much random stuff in that game. It is excellent. Like anything can happen. It's not, I mean, it's not HD graphics. It's top down.
Okay.
And it's fairly cartoony looking, keeping it simple. But there's so much going on in the background. You can just have random animals attacking you, diseases, fights from raiders.
Would that be older than, what's that new game that it really sucked when it first came out? It's new. I think it's first person. Now it's apparently a little better. No Man's Sky. Anything at all like that?
Not really.
Okay.
No Man's Sky is very specific. You're getting into your spaceship flying around. You are harvesting resources in this one too, but it's more of you're focused on your little tribe, your little group of people. You can have random people join you.
Are you stuck on the planet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's different from No Man's Sky, I think. Yeah.
It's very micromanagey, and you got to get in depth to it. The main thing that keeps me coming back to it is it's been fairly well updated, and the mods are excellent. People come out with their own content for it so easily.
And there's like good, it's not sketchy mods?
No, they're good mods.
Okay. I've never gotten into modding for anything, mostly because I don't play PC games. But
yeah, that's the big one.
I remember with Unreal Tournament way back in the day, I used to play people's maps sometimes. That was fun. Capture the flag all by myself against bots. That's my experience with mods.
Outside of that game, it's just pretty much been standard.
The rotation.
PUBG and Rocket League in there.
PUBG, little Rocket League. I got my first chicken dinner in PUBG this week. I will gloat. It was a solo game. It was glorious. Solo dinner. That is available up on our Twitch channel, which you should check out. And we will try to get more Twitch streaming down this week. Eventually, we should probably get like a schedule. Yeah. We just know certain nights a week we're going to be streaming.
It seems to be easier in duos than it does in squads a lot of the time. Yes, I'm finding.
I like duos a lot.
Duos better. And single. Single gets chaotic because you're watching everywhere all the time. You know that something is not covered.
What I like about solo is that when you kill a guy, you don't have another guy coming to kill you.
Yes, that's true. Duo, you have it. If you do kill another guy, you know it's only one more person. The problem with squads,
and he's alone.
Yes,
he's
alone then.
Yeah.
If you've killed one, you might have one more coming after you, and that's it.
Yeah.
Squads, you could have 3 angry people coming over the hill. Yeah.
And I got myself into some real good gang rapes when we play squads now and then, getting trapped in a building, going down and getting punched to death real quick.
That's more original Xbox versus Xbox One.
It's really starting to encourage me to buy an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
I have so many things I want to buy.
And only so much money.
Only so much money. Lots of credit, though. I could get all these things, but then debt for days.
The one thing with PUBG that I'm finding now is, though, I want something to change it up. I want to experience the different modes. I want to see different maps that the PC gets.
Yeah. I do think we should try Fortnite.
It's been out for a long time, and they have not been dropping anything for us. I'm ready.
I would like to try Fortnite if it's a similar style, like Battle Royale.
The big thing I don't like is
it's very different.
The combat seems very jumpy, dodgy, which I hate that kind of style.
I wouldn't mind trying it. If it's free, we should try it.
Yeah.
We'll do a first time playthrough of that and Pirate Life.
And get beat down real quick.
Sea of Thieves, we were planning on doing some streaming of that too, but we got to make sure we have a solid 2 weeks when the trial is free.
Yeah.
To make sure we can dedicate to Sea of Thieves. A few other things need to kind of fall into line with. Well, it's mostly my life. You're pretty stable and able to schedule things. I'm kind of chaotic right now, and I say right now, but it's been 10 years and haven't been able to iron out my schedule. So I'll magically change it in the next 2 weeks and we'll get some Sea of Thieves going. Other than that, PUBG and the usual games, I guess. Yeah, you didn't play any Majora's Mask. You feel like you're falling out of sync with that.
Yeah.
We can let's get that going on stream. Maybe we'll beat it on stream. We'll push through to the end.
You can see how terrible I am at the game.
It's a hard game to be bad at. I mean, well, what makes you good or bad at it? It's not a whole lot of twitchy action kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I've never really been professional in those games.
I don't know what professional would look like. Now, Breath of the Wild, you can definitely be bad or good at that game.
Yes. And there's some spectacular good in those ones.
And some spectacular bad.
Yes.
But yeah, for a game that I played that you weren't a part of, Corey and I one night tried to play a little bit of Destiny 2, which is up on the stream as well. Not that entertaining, because Destiny 2, not that entertaining. It's basically my review of Curse of Osiris so far. We put in about at least 2 hours. It was boring. It was just like procedurally generated areas. Not really, just they've got a few things that they shuffle.
Yeah.
And then they just throw enemies into it. And it's just a space with the enemies we've been fighting for the last 4 years. Kill them, move on to the next area, fight a bullet sponge boss.
Like what was in the original Destiny with the Reef guy?
Oh, well, this is actual Osiris is in there.
Oh, okay.
Osiris himself is part of the story.
No, I was thinking more of
Brother Vance.
No,
Varix?
The weird Varix. Yes.
No. I wish Varix was involved, but no. Just Brother Vance being weird and blind. There's a cool cutscene to open the game. You see Osiris for the first time. I don't know. It's just not. I feel like they're trying too hard and missing the mark.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my opinion on that. They need to just focus on mechanics. Maybe don't focus on story so much. I would read the grimoire over what they're doing right now.
Damn.
It's just this is not feeling great. Although news headlines that I didn't incorporate in here. I think it was late in the week where it became a thing. The next Destiny expansion has been announced, and the reveal will be the end of this month. Maybe we can do a little reveal show.
Destiny reveal.
Destiny 2 reveal, yeah.
Since I'm such an expert.
It's probably the first one. No, I wasn't excited about Curse of Osiris either. So it's the second time a Destiny thing's coming out.
See if it gets your attention.
I hope it's intriguing. It's called Warmind. It's just called Warmind. And
I would be intrigued on that if they tie into Rasputin and get that going.
That's the side of Destiny I'm really interested in. I want to know more about the history and the universe. I didn't really care about Osiris. Didn't care about him in the last game because it
was an event.
We don't know who he was.
We were just there killing other people.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with a person.
So I'm looking forward to that, and maybe we'll give a little review or a watch along or something. I think it'll come out on probably like a 10 a.m. thing, and we'll just wait. I get home from work. We'll do a live reaction.
All right.
We haven't had one of those since the Nintendo one. Let's make that a feature.
Better audio next time.
Yeah, it'll be much better audio and video. Everything's gonna be better. That was just not good last time. So yeah, that wraps up what we have been playing this week. What have we been watching?
Yeah, you definitely need better titles.
Yes, what have we been watching? I'll call it Where Have the Eyeballs What have the eyes seen? I don't know. We'll think of something.
I think I've got you beat on this one.
Oh, yes.
Together, we've watched a fair amount of the MCU because we are still working through all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe
all of them
movies.
Before Infinity War comes out, which is gotta start
need to pick
moving.
It up.
We went pretty
close.
And we're getting there.
I think we're more than halfway through, so we can nail it out if we get a couple double feature nights.
This week should be good.
But we watched both the Guardians.
Yep.
And was it Thor: The Dark World part of this last one?
I think we had seen that with Corey. So the last podcast we would have seen Thor.
I can't remember what the other one was then.
Yeah, the list is just so far away.
No,
Winter
Soldier.
We haven't watched Civil War yet. We watched that with Corey too. We may have just watched the Guardian movie since last week. I feel like we watched more.
I thought we watched more. I guess maybe not.
Yeah, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2. Probably my most viewed Marvel movie at this point, Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yes.
2 now I've even seen twice.
Woo!
Yeah. I don't usually watch movies more than once. So
that's a thing for me.
Yeah.
I'll just pull out a random movie that I've owned and watch it. Probably saves me money.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it was always the days of renting where I never owned movies, so I'd just rent them, bring them back, and probably wouldn't rent them again. That was it.
But yeah, those Guardian movies, both of them are excellent movies.
Yeah, we've been
number 2 wasn't quite the same.
It was the Drax show though.
Drax was hilarious in that one.
We'll save our in-depth reviews for when we do the MCU in review, which will be a feature we put up.
And outside of that, I went to the movie theater and saw 3 movies in the last week.
Damn, spending your high rolling money.
No, that was a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you stay in the movie theater and eat dinner.
Ugh.
One movie I did
VIP?
see. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I do like the VIP. Pacific Rim Uprising.
Oh yeah.
The second Pacific Rim movie with John Boyega. I think I said his name right.
Star Wars guy?
Yes.
Oh yeah. John Boyega? Bodega? Bodega?
We are excellent professionals.
That's right.
I know how to pronounce everything.
Now you've made me doubt it. It might be. I think it is Boyega. John Boyega? Nah, shit.
He is excellent when he's playing a badass person with a British accent. It's nice to hear.
He is actually.
It
British,
is.
Yeah.
And they just didn't want it in the Star Wars. I think he's done that in an interview I saw. They wanted the American accent.
Yeah, which is weird, actually.
She's already British sounding.
If that's their only reason, and there's no lore reason for it, that's kind of weak. Because really, the Empire, the Imperials in general, should have a British type accent, because that's their kind of snobbery. No offense to anyone from Britain here. If one of our 6 subscribers is from the UK, I apologize.
But that was...
Who was abducted as a child, so maybe he already had his accent.
It was a good movie for just the smash 'em ups, but at the same time, what they lost me in was just it's gone very young. It's basically all about the young kids piloting the Jaegers this time, the big robots.
Was it a more mature, older movie last time?
Yes.
Than the first one?
Much more.
I wonder why they would do that. Usually it goes the other way.
I think they wanted to try a different audience, and I just feel like they've probably lost out on money because of the way they went. I mean, it's good. You might get some more young fans in because of the way they went, but I don't know.
Everything's trying to be a franchise.
I don't think it's going to... I don't know if it'll make it through this movie. I don't think it did very well.
No?
No. I just want to see it because I like seeing monsters, big monsters and big mechs punching the crap out of each other. Where's my Gundam movie? I want a Hollywood Gundam movie.
Have they ever... It's only been anime, right? They've never tried...
There might be a live action terrible one out there, but nothing big budget. Then I saw Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Excellent for what I was going for. I was not going for some super deep... I'm intrigued by the story and the plot line in this movie.
Yeah.
I was going for nostalgia factor, and it hit all the right notes.
A lot of cool Easter eggs.
A lot of good Easter eggs. Lots of tributes to... I can't even name them all the different movies and games and music and pop culture. They're massive.
A lot of YouTube channels that like point out every Easter egg in movies.
Well, I'll probably be buying that movie.
That's a long...
Because there'll be a lot of forward and rewind that I want to see this scene over and again. There's a lot of Halo.
Yeah, apparently
the Chief's in there.
Master Chief Squadron.
Big Sauce. At one point he pulls out.
Yeah, I gotta go see that. I gotta find people to go watch movies with. You go during the day sometimes.
I am down for movies, but
it's just expensive.
You just don't have time. And it is expensive.
There's not enough time in a day, not enough days in a week.
And then the final movie of the week was A Quiet Place.
Which we were potentially going to see together.
Yes.
But I ended up working.
And that one was excellent.
Mm.
It's a horror movie, kind of in... It's not gruesome, particularly. It's more of like the scare. It's scary, tension. It's kind of along the lines of like a Signs type.
Mm-hmm. It's creepy.
And Village, except if Village was
creepy
better.
And thrilly.
Yes.
Tense.
And kind of like a Predator aspect. Not Predator, Aliens, like the xenomorphs hunting you kind of thing.
Huh.
But it's all based on sound. If you make too much noise, they come and get you.
The trailers definitely make you want to see it, I think.
Yeah, it was very well done.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch the trailer for A Quiet Place. I haven't seen it.
I don't want to go in any more depth and spoil anything because it's recent and good.
Yeah, definitely anything in theaters. We will give very fair spoiler warnings if we're going to talk about them.
For those 3 movies that are current, you got a thumbs up for Ready Player One and A Quiet Place, and a thumbs down for Pacific Rim.
Save your money. Wait for the VHS.
Unless you like seeing big mechs and monsters punch each other on the big screen.
Well, in
that's
that
about
case,
the only reason you'd go
wait
for
a month and go to one of your small local theaters and support those small.
I think it is It is time now, though. It's been out for a while.
Oh, has it? Oh, didn't know that. Speaking of small local theaters, it's probably where we're going to end up watching Black Panther if it's not still in the big theaters.
Hopefully, it's still
I haven't
in there.
seen it yet, so we got to get to through the list so I can watch that. We could probably find a small theater though.
Yeah,
with that playing, or the drive-in. Go for a nice romantic evening.
Drive-in
the drive-in. It's out in Aldergrove, not too far from here.
That's probably a good place to wrap it up. We're pretty close to 60.
The final segment. We've got one more segment.
Oh, what?
Q&A. So we take your questions and answer them. None this week. All right. If you have questions for us, please leave them in the comments below.
Or ideas to discuss.
Yeah. Topics. You do the work. Headlines. Why don't you just email me headlines too?
Yes, if you can think of better titles for our segments.
Yeah, let's make that a little competition. All right, subscribers, we have a mission for you this week. Name our segments. We've got one called General Discussion. We've got one called, I'm calling it This Week in Nerdy News.
I think we probably keep that one. That's a good one.
That's not bad. I think it's a ripoff from somebody.
Probably.
I think I've heard that somewhere.
Maybe not so good then.
Maybe not so good.
But the last two definitely need some work.
Yeah, what have we been playing and what have we been watching?
Mind you, these segments will change week to week because they are not necessarily staying there. Nerdy News could probably be more repeating.
I'm thinking this might be a good format.
You can interchange
in general. Maybe we'll add another general topic and make them. Then we have two if it's a light kind of week of watching and playing. I don't know, but I like the kind of wrapping things up with. Hey, this is what we spent our week doing.
Yeah, okay.
It gives little reviews, little tidbits. But feedback is always appreciated. So if you, the audience, has feedback, it's appreciated. Send it to us. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel.
Like and subscribe.
And like it.
And come watch us some clips on Twitch.
Yes, come visit us on Twitch at twitch.tv/postnerdism. We'll try to be there at least a few times this week. I'd say we could get 2 or 3 nights going. And we're going to figure out some kind of a schedule so that you know when that's going to happen. Schedules are good. I like my life to have a schedule. When I have schedules, I actually get things done. Like this podcast every week. Sundays, we record. Mondays, up it goes. And then go to the actual podcast services. If you're not already just listening to this on audio, go to iTunes and subscribe to it, even if you don't use iTunes, just to give us those numbers, those really important numbers. It's free after all. Doesn't hurt you at all. All right, enough blabbing on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I think you're ripping somebody off with that one.
I don't know. I think I just made that up.
Yeah.